One of the key business documents that organizations and family offices use, particularly during tax time, is a K-1. K-1s, as you know, have a ton of data on them, and that data needs to be extracted and then entered into other systems for tax prep purposes and other purposes. This demo, or this video, is about building artificial intelligence to automatically extract that content by dropping those documents in a library. Now, I have some sample K1s for this purpose, and these K1s have sample data on them. As you can see, there's nothing on any one of these documents here that is pertinent to any specific client, right? It's all just sample data. You can see that here. Lots of sample data, but this is fairly typical, right? You would get a document like this and it would have all of these pieces of information filled out, or select fields filled out, right? And I have all of these documents. They are saved in this folder over here. So I'm just going to drag and drop them into this library back here. And this library, before I do that, has been set up to have a column for each one of those pieces of information. You can see this is fairly extensive. There's like 60 some columns in here, all right? And it has a model tied to it behind the scenes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to drag, and I'm going to drop all of these in the library. And in just a second, you'll see that it says it's uploading 6 documents, and there they all are. Now, the model itself, I'm going to show you that up here. This is the model when it loads. Right now it's set, with the work that I've done on it, it's about 92%. I've got a little more work that I want to do, but it'll still work for demonstration purposes. Okay, here's where I have built all of those columns, and I have trained this to look for each one of these columns of information by using sample documents, some of them that you saw. All right, and then I have wired that model to that particular library that I just showed you, and behind the scenes, there is a flow that's using Power Automate that is watching that library. And that flow is set up to, when a document is dropped into that document, you can see that this is actually running right now. When a document is dropped into that library, it will process it through that model. Okay? So now if I go back to the library, you can see that while we were talking, some of those documents have been classified, and those columns of information, and this is all sample test data, but it's actually filled in each and every one of these columns, and obviously that's not typical for a K1. They wouldn't all be filled out, but the columns that are filled out are in here, in this data, right? And if I refresh my screen again, more of this, as you can see, now all of them are filled out. So because I have built the model, now all of this content is extracted, and it is in these columns. And then I can take this content and I can export it to Excel or to CSV and push it out to another system, or I could do something with Power Automate and push that information into another system, such as Salesforce or an accounting system or a tax prep system. Okay, and you can see right here, this library has been set up with a form processing model right here. If I click on this, it'll tell you exactly which one it is, and it is the K1 model. You can see that's right there. Okay, so this is a very high level overview of what it takes, or what can happen using SharePoint Syntex to extract content from standardized documents such as a K1. Okay, I hope that's interesting to you, and you can think about other possibilities of what you can do with all of this data. Thank you.